It's the kid, it's your boy, it's your boy. I'm here, we're here, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live. Look, guys, I'm merely a mortal. That's what I am. I am merely here a mortal. We're gonna have a good show today. The post-match analysis is coming. I am currently deep in production on what is going to be an epic. So I'm working on an epic right now. So it's good. So it's going to come because look, don't think for 1 second I'm not going to milk this, because the insults I took, the abuse I took, and everything. Don't you think for 1 second that I am not going to flipping milk what just went down on Wednesday, okay? So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna go real, man. So that's just for the side. So for today's show, like obviously we have our main topics. So the main one, as you will say, is Inter Milan sacking Spalletti. I want to just get into a little bit detail into that and what that's about. Of course, Hazard, the interview he gave on the pitch where he did pretty much say that he's almost going to go to Real Madrid and only like a few things need to be sort of ironed out before that is made fully 100% official. And Sarri, like apparently there was a report that some Juve representatives and some Chelsea representatives were actually meeting in London, which pretty much gives credence to the possibility that, you know, we may actually be seeing your boy Sarri move to Juventus. So those are the main topics that we have here. But of course, the chat room is open. I see all of you guys in there. What up, man? I'll be looking at your stuff and, you know, writing through with you. You know, J Sports, what up, bro? Your hands. You know, Jason Pink, all the regular boys. What's up, man? So, and 100% we will then be talking about the Champions League final. We'll be building up to that. So, we're going to be talking about Champions League final. Tomorrow, I'm going to always release my pre-match analysis for the Champions League final, and I'm probably going to ride with a hangout. I think we're going to ride with just one last hangout, just to focus on that Champions League final, just to really write things out, and then boom, you know. Because currently, I'm in the midst of trying to book my holiday. So I'm still trying to decide where I want to go, but I'm in the midst of trying to book my holiday. But I want to just make sure everything is all well and good, and once that's done, boom, you know, that is it for me for this season. And so we then recharge, regroup for, of course, the Nations Leagues, the Copa America, and of course, the African Nations Cup. So remember, if you want your comments read, you want to help to support the Football Hot, you want me to respond to a question, give you a shout out, and so forth, always use the super chats. I'll try and answer the questions I see in the chat room, but the super chats is the easiest way for me to be able to react to you guys. I remember, I'll tell you a bit more about the whole movie app curated thing maybe nearer towards the end of the stream, which I didn't really explain it a bit more, but trust me, it's a quality app. The Curator app is an amazing film review app. I think it's going to really change things in the industry big time. So let's just ride with the super chat. So your boy Josh Bourne, are you going to wear a suit? Bro, what do you think? It's a Champions League flipping final, bro. I've got to go all in. Like it's the biggest club game in football, you know. So, bro, just relax. I got your boys got you, bro. I'm gonna come correct because Champions League final. I'm gonna give you that pre-match analysis. I'm gonna give you the suit. And also, we're going to ride about an hour and a half before the game. And we're going to be doing a live chat throughout the entirety of the game. So, Champions League final, we're going to come correct and real on that. Because trust me, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. I mean, so close to that. So close to that triple. But we'll talk. Spalletti now. Let me just, I want to bring up Spalletti right now. So Luciano Spalletti. Because I want to just, you know, look at just the guy as a whole. So before we go into the Spalletti and everything, he got sacked. Inter Milan managed to secure a Champions League position, Champions League playoff. But even leading up to this final game, it seemed as if Inter Milan were not really happy with what Spalletti was doing. They were not happy with the direction that the club was going in under his tutelage. And they said, you know what, see out the season and we're going to pull the plug now. is it harsh that you sack a manager after he's just delivered you a Champions League qualification? I think that is harsh. I think that I think that is harsh, and I think that is unfortunate to do that. But it's a bold move, and sometimes when you make these bold moves, it can sometimes be for tutors. So when you just look at what Spalletti has done, so he's been coach of Inter Milan, Roma, Zenit, Roma again, Udinese, Ancona, Udinese, Venezia, Sampdoria, Empoli. Probably his biggest success was maybe his stints at Roma. And when we just look at the table, let's just see how Inter Milan did. So at the end of it, Inter Milan, so 20 wins, 9 draws, 9 losses. But you know what? I think the thing about it is this, and I think this is probably what's counted against it, because I think it was the Champions League and the league, because based off Sarri leaving Napoli, Napoli not really buying anyone major, the kind of players that Inter Milan had. Remember, Inter Milan got who's that dude from Belgium? Oh, guys, who's that dude from Belgium that Inter Milan got? Who's that dude from Belgium? Oh, who's that dude? Oh my gosh, his name. Guys, please help me. Belgian. Thank you, Shazam with the win. Nainggolan. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So they got guys like Nainggolan and so forth. So you would think that Inter Milan, based on the team and the players and the person they had, should have finished higher above Napoli, who were coming in with a new manager in Ancelotti. And for Atalanta to finish above you, that's not good. Atalanta to finish above you, that's not good. So I think. So there's not finishing ahead of Atalanta and Napoli, because many people thought Inter Milan would be the team closest to Juventus, and they finished 10 points behind Napoli. And you look at the Champions League. I know it was a long time since Inter Milan were back in the Champions League, but to not make it through, especially in the final game, to screw up against PSV in the final game and not make it through to the groups, not very good. Did he deserve the sack? If Inter Milan are going to get Conte, and I've got my own personal views with Conte, if Inter Milan are sacking him to get Conte, it's the right move, because Conte is the better manager. So there you go. Because I still think that Spalletti is a good manager, but Spalletti is Spalletti at the best is a tier 3 manager. That's his ceiling. Whereas Conte's ceiling is upper tier 2. He's sitting his upper tier 2, and I think that for Conte, he's the better manager. He's proven himself to be the better manager, and maybe that is a guy that Inter Milan needs to really guide things. So for Spalletti, you know what? I think this job was too big for him. I think like for some guys, you have to know what your level is, and I think Spalletti's level is a Roma, a Sampdoria, probably even a Napoli. I think that's his level. I think when we're now looking at AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, I think those clubs that are at the very top and really want to really aim for the highest benchmark and highest in it, I don't think he can deliver that. But for Conte, you look at what he's done with Juventus. He pretty much started the whole Juve renaissance. You look at what he did with Chelsea, winning an FA Cup, winning a league title. He's proven himself. Again, he's been a brick in the Champions League, but he's proven himself. So I think that, for Inter Milan, this coming season is going to be very important and very huge, because it's a big seismic change. Juve are getting a new manager. Will that new manager be able to carry on this crazy consecutive winning run that Juve are on? Will this new season be the season where everything changes? Because if Conte comes in and he's able to bring in and make some very interesting signings, who knows? Maybe this could be the season that Inter Milan really changed them, because that is what AC needs for there to be a seismic sea change within domestic matters, because Juventus have just been making a mockery of the league. So, if we're looking at the Milan clubs, Inter Milan are way ahead than AC Milan in terms of development and trying to get to a point. Inter is still a long way away from where they were back in 2010, 2011, when they had obviously Etso, Milito, Stankovic, Lucio, all those boys, Samuel. They're a long way from there because when I look at that team, they're still lacking some personal. There's some good players. There's some quality players there. I'm a huge fan of Perisic. I think Perisic is a very, very good winger. You already know how I feel about Icardi. I think Icardi is a very, very clinical finisher. Keita Balde, who helped Inter Milan get to this stage. I think Keita Balde is a really good player who can really improve. So there are already good players there that for Conte to have, but I think he can definitely add to it and definitely elevate them. And it remains to be seen. I'm sorry, a team that wins a league title 8 years in a row, I'm not betting against them. So coming into next season, I'm not betting against Juventus because they've won it 8 times in a row. But if ever there was going to be a season in which things could change, this may be the season, because when you look at, but then again, it depends who you get, because obviously we'll get to it. I'm assuming that Sarri is going to be that dude that they're going to get. So if it's Sarri, he's coming in with a wholly very different system to the one that was there under your boy Allegri. So would that be too much? And I think, okay, Sarri, of course, he's won the Europa League. But again, if it's Sarri into Pep Guardiola is the guy who will come in and just by his name and what he's done, players will come to, because that's the funny thing. Because remember, your name as a manager can be used as like a magnet, an attractive tool for other players to come towards it. So Pep Guardiola going to Juventus, already guys are like, man, I've got to go to Pep. And maybe even he plays in City, like Sterling will be like, Pep will be like, okay, I'm living in City. Yo, Raheem, Kevin, David, Imeric. Come on, what up? So these are all the things going in there. But yeah, so it's what's to be seen. Conte is not confirmed yet, but Inter Milan have to start moving forward. They have to start moving forward. This was a disappointing season, and I think when you look at what Inter Milan had to do this season and how everybody thought they were going to be the ones to challenge Juventus this season to finish fourth and only just secure Champions League place on the last day of the season, to allow Napoli to finish ahead of you, to allow Atalanta to finish ahead of you, and to finish basically, 21 points. 21 points behind Juventus. That's embarrassing. That is completely embarrassing. So let's just hop to our next thing. But let me just do this super chat. So from Josh Byrne, will Arsenal become irrelevant if Spurs win? Let me put it to you straight before. We'll obviously get to the Champions League discussion, but let me just answer that first. Josh, it's very simple, and I said this on my live stream during the game. If Tottenham beats Liverpool, Arsenal Football Club is finished as an entity. Robbie has to shut down Arsenal Fan TV. There's no point. They can't exist anymore. And I'm building a wing. So as a wing of Arsenal will get built, and them as a club will officially be done. So that's why I believe Liverpool are going to win. Because Liverpool are going to win because based on the balance of things, Arsenal would not be able to recover from Tottenham winning. So, So, Zad. So I want to check before I get to the Zad story. Are there any Zad haters or any Zad doubters in the chat? If you're a Zad doubter, please raise your hand like this. Raise your hand in this chat room if you're still a Zad doubter or you still doubt this one. Please raise your hand. I don't want to just see numbers of if we've got any more Zad haters. Okay. Maybe people are finally realizing, man. Maybe people are now finally realizing. Okay, now. So Hazard was given an interview after the game in which he gave you 2 Gs and an assist. And he pretty much came out and said, look, I'm happy with what has happened. This is, I mean, and I'm thankful for the fans. I think this is a good way to really end the whole thing. And he just said, you know what, yeah, look, man, everybody knows what I want to do and I want to do it. But remember, and this is where he revealed this actual himself, because it's one thing whenever you hear stuff in the newspapers or reports about, oh, he said, she said, but he literally said this. So there's footage of him saying this where he wanted to leave last summer. So after the World Cup, his feeling was he wanted to leave last summer. And that's funny. So if Hazard was playing for Real Madrid this last season under, of course, Lopetegui, how would that have gone? I feel there was a blessing in disguise. Because if Hazard had moved last summer, he would not have had the season that he had. And I think he would have struggled. He would obviously have helped Real Madrid win a few more games, but he would have still have struggled under what was a system that just wasn't working under Lopetegui. But as of right now, he's coming in having the best season of his career. So if he was to join Real Madrid, you're coming off the best season of your career, and you're really coming in as a savior for Real Madrid. Because remember, if you had joined last summer, you're joining the defending Champions League winners. But coming in now, you're now coming to a situation where like you're actually seen as a savior because of one of Real Madrid's worst ever seasons ever. So this was definitely a blessing in disguise for him. So I think, pretty much what he was saying is like, boom, Real Madrid, it is what it is. I have to move now. And that is the reality of the matter. And I think even as I said, the key point he says, I want to face a new challenge. And let me be real with you. Did he leave it too late? Because you could argue that he left it late, because I always say that the peak for a player is 26, 27. That's that sweet spot. 26, 27 is that sweet spot of your 26, 27, 28. That's the sweet spot for your peak. 26, 27, 28. So if you're making that move 28, 29, that's really pushing it. That's really pushing. But boom, it has happened, and you can't change that. But I just think that when you just look at what he did and what he was doing, and there's so many elements. Remember when Robin moved to Real Madrid? I think that was too early, and then he saw what he did it for Bayern Munich, and we now know what kind of player he was. When Kaká moved to Real Madrid, I believe it was too late. He had passed his peak. He was no longer the player that he was at AC Milan. So I think for Hazard, an argument can be made that maybe, are you leaving this too late? But then the flip side of that argument is he's just had his best ever season. And if he had moved like last season or 2 seasons ago or 3 years ago, maybe he would have failed, and because maybe he just would not have been ready. Because this is like, Hazard was born at the World Cup. Before the World Cup, he was known as Eden Hazard. Before that World Cup in 2018, he was merely known as Eden Hazard. After that World Cup, he evolved into Zad because he changed. Something changed in him psychologically. He's always had the time, he's always had the ability, but something changed in him psychologically. So I think this is the right time for him to move to Real Madrid, because I believe that he is playing the best football of his career, and I think he's either reached his peak or he's nearing towards the peak of his ability. So he is a ready-made player to really succeed. Was Robin really ready-made to succeed at Real Madrid? Was he really the finished article? I'm not sure. Because even Robin, who played a pivotal part in Chelsea's first league title win, he was still not the finished article. But just because he had so much ability, so you saw how well he did with Chelsea, but injury issues here and so forth. Neymar isn't better than Zad, bro. I don't know when you're about. Neymar is a clown. But, cool. So, yeah. So, that's it. So I think, so in terms of Hazard, I think, look, man, I mean, the criticism I always had for Hazard is, can you be that dude? Wait, what the hell did I bring my phone down? Is like, can you be that dude? That's the thing. Are you brave enough to really face off and be a superstar? Because let's be real, the pressure at Chelsea in the same pressure you have at Real Madrid. Real Madrid is perhaps one of the biggest pressurized clubs you'll ever have. And this was an issue I was having with a little debate I was having with Drifter, because Drifter said that, playing at Anfield and having the Liverpool jersey is just as, if not more, pressure than the Real Madrid jersey. And I was like, bro, that's just you talking as a Liverpool fan. Playing at Anfield is the same as playing at the Bernabeu. Okay, playing for Liverpool, the Liverpool shirt does not weigh as much as the Real Madrid shirt. That Real Madrid shirt weighs heavy because the pressure you're on is so great, because this is the greatest European side of all time. There's a reason why they've won the most champions, because they are the elite European superhouse. It is, those are just a fact. So my thing for Hazard is that, and this was my view in previous years, that I just feel like if he's just going to stay in his little pool, stay in his little cocoon and just remain at Chelsea in his comfort zone, because at Chelsea, you don't really give him that much pressure. The people love you. People will not really be that much demanding of you. And again, it's a nice comfort safety zone. But maybe what changed Hazard's mind was, before the World Cup, I don't think Hazard believed he was that good. And guys, people keep telling me this, and I will be clear now. 1,000% at the point Sanchez was better than Hazard. I'm not hiding. So somebody say, no, yeah. There was a time when Sanchez first came to Arsenal. Those first 2-3 seasons, he was better than Hazard. And that is why I was critical of Hazard, because this guy has a lot of ability, but he's not effective. He's not doing anything. He's running around in circles, and he'll have a good game here, a good game there, but he's just not that dude. Whereas that Sanchez was literally carrying Arsenal. As a one man, he was carrying Arsenal on his shoulders. So at a point, of course, Sanchez was better than Hazard. So this just shows that I was not always on this whole Zad train, because at the point, Hazard just was a guy with a lot of ability, a lot of skill, but just didn't have the mentality or the psychology to really know what a superstar needed to do. So, but fast forward to 2018, 2019, Sanchez has greatly declined. I mean, Sanchez is now a flipping Class A brick. Sanchez is a flipping Class A brick. So, as first of all, being a Class A brick, being completely, totally horrible and useless, you now look at the opposite. And what you now have for Hazard is a guy who has been one of the best, not only one of the best players in the Premier League, one of the best players in Europe. And you now look at what he flipping did in his final game for Chelsea in a flipping final. So, and that's just what happens. At a point, Sanchez was better than Hazard. But right now, Hazard is clearly better than Sanchez. I want to touch on Ozil. I should have put it on the docket. I would definitely want to touch on Ozil. So guys, remind me. So if I forget, please remind me about talking about Ozil. I don't want to forget that. Just remind me about talking about Ozil, because I want to address a few things about Zil. So look, I mean, all that's, I believe 110 is the agreed fee between Chelsea and Real Madrid. And someone told me that Tuesday is going to be the day that he gets announced. And I think the quicker this happens, the better. That's just what I think. The quicker it happens, the better. Let him just be presented, let him be revealed, and let us just carry on with our lives. Let him be real. Let him be revealed. Let him be shown. Let's just carry on with our lives, and let's just move. Because I think, you have to just, like, any Chelsea fan that has any issue with Hazard leaving or joining, you're immoral. Any Chelsea fan who tries to boo Hazard if Real Madrid play Chelsea, you're a flipping moron. It's like those stupid, thick-headed Chelsea fans who had the audacity to boo or insult Mourinho. It's like, are you sick in the head? Mourinho was one of the people who made Chelsea relevant. So that is no that is crazy. So before I leave the other topic and go over to Sarri, another question is interesting. Where does Hazard rank amongst Chelsea's greatest or best players? Because my ranking is this: Drogba, Hazard, Lampard, Terry, Zola. That is my ranking, So for me, I've got to put him because I think a lot of people will say Lampard over Hazard. For me, the season that Hazard had this season, for me, I just think Drogba is never getting, nobody's ever going to be. I don't think there'll ever be a greater Chelsea player than Drogba. That's never happened. Drogba will always be number one. But Hazard and Lampard is close, but I just feel that this season that Hazard has just put him above Lampard. Because look, Lampard is crazy because Lampard redefined what a midfielder could do. When you look at the amount of goals that he scored, and his consistency of goals, he pretty much almost, you could even argue, revolutionized what a midfielder could do. But I have to just put Hazard. Lampard never did in a season what Hazard did in this season. Never. He never did, And look what you guys are saying. So let me be real. So you guys are honestly telling me that Lampard is a better player than Hazard. I want to just understand that. Are you telling me that Lampard is a better player than Hazard? Because I get what Lampard has done for Chelsea. What did Lampard ever do for England? Lampard was amazing for Chelsea. Lampard was a brick for England. For Hazard, we know what Hazard did at the World Cup in 2018, and we know what he has done for Chelsea all this past few years. So that's it itself. Moves things away. That's interesting though. Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole is a good shout. Ashley Cole is definitely a good shout. So let me just look at this super chat here. So from Young One, $2 super chat. Thank you, bro. So Young One says, real question is, was Ozil better than Hazard? No, Ozil was never better than Hazard. Different players, but even Ozil at his peak was an excellent playmaker. But Hazard gives you playmaking, he gives you creativity, he gives you dribbling, he gives you goal scoring. So just like Hazard just had a lot more to his game than peak Ozil. Forget about Ozil now. Peak Ozil was superb playmaker. Absolutely brilliant, superb genius playmaker. But that was it. How good was his goal scoring? How good was his dribbling? How much did he really carry his team? How much did he do that as an individual? I think really Ozil, when you look at Ozil at his peak, it was that time at Real Madrid. That time at Real Madrid and Germany 2010, 2012. But when you look at Germany 2010 to 2012, I look at Real Madrid, he was surrounded by quality players. He was in a quality team. But now that he's now moved to Arsenal, where he's now actually do a lot more, it's been different. Mauricio Sarri. So this is a rumor around the campfire. I don't know how much truth there is in this, but let's get into it. So apparently, Mauricio Sarri might be heading to Juventus, and what is happening is that I was talking to Daniel T about it, Talking Tactics. My Talking Tactics podcast partner drops every Tuesday, and he was saying that they're not going to sack Sarri, especially after this Europa League. They're not going to sack Sarri. Now, what is going to happen is Juventus are going to probably buy Sarri out, and both parties are trying to find an agreement where sort of you can just say Sarri just amicably parts ways, joins Juventus, and then Chelsea now try and get out other managers. So let's just unpack all these things right now, man. Bro, be respectful. It's Uncle Mo. Don't call him Auntie Mo. He's Uncle Mo. Bro, be respectful to the goats. I was a lot about I talked a lot about how transfer ban, is Sarri the right dude? Probably not. Because he needs players for his system to work and so forth. But then looking at that final, Hazard leaving, the fact that he you look at what he did at Napoli. There was no superstar at Napoli, and even if he has this transfer ban, you now have this wealth of youthful talents who have now gone out on loan, and you can pretty much bring all of these loanies back and pretty much create a whole new different kind of team to operate with. So when you think that there's maybe perhaps a nice, interesting argument, and you also put Pulisic in there as well, there's perhaps a nice, interesting argument for how maybe this Chelsea side could maybe work under Sarri without Hazard. That's much more team focused, because Chelsea's issue this season was they were very heavily reliant on Hazard, and it's football. When you know that a player is that good, you're always going to try and look for him. So whether it's a Neymar, whether it's a Messi and so forth, when you just see this superstar player, you'll focus in on him. But now that superstar player has gone, it's not going to be much more about team. And what that Napoli team was under Sarri was very team focused. Yeah, Messi was amazing. Insigne was amazing. Insigne wasn't the superstar. Messi wasn't the superstar. Even Higuain, when he scored all the goals, he wasn't the superstar. There was not a go-to superstar guy for Napoli. They very much played as a flipping team. So maybe there's an argument for him to be kept there. For Juventus, would Sarri be the right dude to maintain? Would he be the right dude to pretty much maintain the win? Because in case you guys have not realized, Juventus are trying to go for 10. Yes. Trying to go for 10 in a row. Sorry, but that's just how it is. I'm not trying to be rude there. They're trying to go for 10 in a row. So if you're trying to go for 10 in a row, is Sarri the dude to maintain that? And I see, the thing about Sarri at Juventus is he now has quality. He now has quality players that he never had at Napoli or at Chelsea. He doesn't have the whole burden of the transfer ban, and he now has a greater, wider pool of players to choose from, which he didn't have at either Chelsea or Napoli. So there are a lot of pluses in there. Like, he has achieved a lot with less. But then the argument is his system is very different from Allegri's. So let's be real. Allegri and Conte may be different managers, but Allegri's system isn't too different from Conte. So when Allegri came over, it wasn't that much of a culture shock. But Sarri's system is extremely different from both Conte's and Allegri's. So from that point of view, it's going to be a lot for these Juve guys to now learn. I mean, so if he was to come in, he definitely needs players. He definitely needs different kinds of midfielders there to really employ his pass and move system, because he's very much about a pass and move, more balanced style. Whereas Conte and Allegri were much more about defensive pragmatism, winning 1-0, 2-1, not really reliant on playing the nice, pretty triangles. So that is a risk. That's why even when I saw Juve going for Sarri, I was like, oh, it's a shock. Because if Juve are to go for Pep, you see, Pep is... See, that's security, because Pep has won leagues in England, in Italy, and in Spain. In England, Spain... in England, Spain, and Germany. So, you just, England, Spain, Germany, he shouldn't be so successful here. We give him the players that he wants, he should be successful here. So Sarri is a risk. Sarri is a risk because it is a risk based on how different his system is and what are Inter Milan going to be doing. What are Inter up to? Who are they going to recruit? Who are they bringing in? If it is Conte, who's going to bring in? So are they really going to form a huge challenge? Because trust me, Juve definitely wants to do this incredible 10 in a row. So I don't really know. So I mean, but for Chelsea, you see now, if Chelsea get Lampard, that's a huge risk. That's a huge risk. So yes, what Lampard did for Derby County, that's bloody amazing. What he did for Derby County, but you can't just assume that because he did that for Derby County. So basically what he did for Derby County, we can't now just say he will not be successful for Chelsea based on what he did for Derby. There's definitely proof that he's obviously got a knack for this management, a knack for this coaching. But it's I wouldn't be the guy to hire him. So if it's me, what do you do? Let's say there's a transfer ban, and the transfer ban is here. What do you do if I'm Chelsea? If I'm Marina. I stick with Sarri. Because which manager are you going to be able to get who you believe would be able to work with the youth? Again, because the thing about this is that you already have a core who have already spent a year with the system. That is key. So that core already have a year knowing this system already. So the players that you are going to be coming in, i.e. loanee, so basically Pulisic plus all the players coming in, will now have to learn the system, but you already have a leg up based on the players who've already been here for last season under Sarri. So that helps. You bring a new manager in, it's now all about, okay, we now have to now learn everything and do everything from scratch, which I just think is very risky indeed to try and do that, man. So I would stick with Sarri. I think Sarri makes the most logical sense now. What I think will happen, I really believe that, look, Abramovich is that dude. Like, so Roman Abramovich, he's my guy. Abramovich is my guy. So I think Abramovich, I just believe that he's going to be like, you know what, he's gonna pull the trigger, man. He's gonna pull the trigger, and I think he's just gonna be like, you know what, I'm sorry, you're sacked. Get the hell out of there. And I'm going to just get some other dude. So I think that he will sack Sarri. And as much as I've had a lot of beef with Sarri, but that second half performance was amazing. But when you just look at what he did tactically throughout the whole game, A1, man. What he did throughout the whole game tactically, you've got to tip that hat to you've got to tip your hat and say, you know what, bro, you're that dude, man. You are that flipping dude. So let's view super chats. So Young One, $5 super chats, man. Thank you very much, Young One. You're youthful and strong. So Young One says Juve need a Sarri type manager because they lack passing ability. Juve's game is built off scoring from crosses or set pieces. Basically, get it to Cristiano. I don't think that. I mean, it is interesting. I mean, do they need a Sarri type manager? I mean, but let me even, because I think your second super chat is linked to, so again, Young One again. So you said, I knew they would lose to a team like Ajax because their philosophy was too basic under Allegri. But let me touch to that. How come they reached the final in 2015? How come they reached the final in 2017? They reached the final in 2017, restricting a Barcelona side with Neymar and Messi to 0 goals over 2 legs. That same Barcelona side who executed the miracle of Camp Nou. Are you now telling me that this Ajax side are better than that Barcelona side? Come on, no. So my thing about it was Sarri coming in. I don't think Juventus need Sarri, but I can see how they could. I can see how Sarri could be an improvement because. And now I cannot see maybe why they're looking at Sarri, because people will say, you know what, the biggest criticism that people had of Juventus, especially in the way that they went out because it's all about the Champions League, the way they went out in the Champions League was the lack of positivity. You can't be that negative and that conservative playing at home, because it's so crazy. Like when they played the second leg against Atletico Madrid, they were on the front foot, but that's because they were 2-0 down. But because it was 1-1 and they actually had a great result in the Amsterdam Arena, their approach was actually wrong and there was actually a lot more conservative. So An argument can be made. I mean, I can see now. Look at now. So this way, I think Youngwood, you could be right. Champions League. So if the priority is the Champions League, maybe they're thinking about bring Sarri in as early as possible. Get him the players that we need. We have Cristiano. We have a goal-scoring freak there. Get him the players that he needs. Get them learning this system as quickly and as early as possible. And if we can do that, maybe that's the quality that we need in order to win this Champions League. That maybe we do need to be able to express ourselves a lot more. And by expressing ourselves a lot more, that can then play into the hands. Because, for instance, like let's say he's able to get like an Eriksen, or a very interesting creative playmaker, and a really good strong central midfielder. Boom. You've already got the defense. You've already got your flank men there. That's looking very interesting. So yeah, there is a possibility there if we're talking Champions League. So super chat here from Mukhtar Abdi. Do you think the eye test is underrated? Yes, Mukhtar Abdi. I believe that the eye test is, because I have learned that balance is very important to have balance in your life. It's very important to have a balance in life, and I think that with analysis, I think you have to balance the eye test with the so you have to balance the eye test with the stats. So the stats you get from who scored is just as important as watching the game, because I'm not a stats guy, but when you look at the stats and everything, there's like it gives you a fuller, richer picture of how a player has done. So it's just good to, it's sort of like an ace in your pocket, like, okay, I've just, even if I don't need it, I don't like it, I've just got this ace in the hole of numbers. So if I come a bit stuck with the eye test in an argument, so let me bring out the stat sheet of goals, assists, goals created, distance covered, hit zones, hit maps, and so forth. But the beauty of the eye test is you see, there are things that you see on a pitch which you can't see from stats. Perfect example. If a player beats 3, 4, 5 players, gives the ball to a dude, that dude just plays a square pass over to the other dude taps the ball in. So the dude that comes ball in gets the goal. The dude that played the very basic pass across gets the assist. What is that other dude who beats 4 or 5 players, made a lot of groundwork? Where is his stat sheet? So now you can say, okay, his stat sheet is dribbles made, but he doesn't get the assist or the goal, so we never see his involvement in getting the goal. If you're watching a game, there are things that a player does that helps to elevate people, and so that helps to really make the team play in a positive way. And by him making the team play in a positive way, it's not illustrated by stats. Your boy even mentioned your boy Zizou and Zidane. Perfect example. Because Zidane is dictating the tempo of the game. And when you're dictating the tempo of the game, you have to see how that's being done. For instance, if let's say after a game, you could have a situation where let's say Zidane and Mikelele are both playing. So Mikelele has completed the same amount of passes that Zidane has. So when you look at the stat, they both completed the same amount of passes that they've had. But what you don't see when you're watching the game, and this is the eye test, is the passes Zidane is making, is how he's dictating the game. Whereas Mikelele, he may be making those passes to the people, he may be completing those passes, but he's not been able to really control the game and conduct and orchestrate the texture of the match in the way that Zidane does. So that's why I think eye test is very important. So I want to just talk about the Champions League final. Saturday is where it all goes down. Liverpool against Tottenham. Now, I think I'm hearing a narrative here. And I think this narrative I'm hearing is definitely coming from especially this Arsenal-Chelsea game. Arsenal, huge favourites. We also watch Chelsea and Hazard did. The pressure is definitely on Liverpool. 100% it's on Liverpool. Huge. Tottenham are playing with zero pressure. Tottenham are going in this game with no pressure. Like, Tottenham have already succeeded. 100%. And even if Tottenham lose, even if Tottenham were to lose 6-1, 7-1, even if Tottenham were winning 1-0 and in the last 2 minutes they conceded two goals and they so-called bottle it, they would still have had a successful season and they still would have had a better season than Arsenal. So, if any Arsenal fan opens their mouth to try to insult Tottenham, if Tottenham lose to Liverpool, you're an embarrassment. Arsenal fans can say nothing. All Arsenal fans can do is just hope that Tottenham lose. And when Tottenham lose, Arsenal fans just have to just shut up and just privately thank themselves. Any Arsenal fan celebrating a Tottenham loss, Tottenham fans can just say, we're going to be in the Champions League next year. Where are you going to be? And they'll say, are you so sad? Are you so sad that you're celebrating us losing in a Champions League final? The same Champions League that we're going to be next season? So, here's what it is, man. But Liverpool are the better team. Liverpool have been here before. Liverpool have a point to prove. I believe Liverpool wants it more than Tottenham. Tottenham want this. Don't get it twisted. Any team that enters a final, they want it. They want that thing. There is no professional football player that goes into a final of a World Cup, a Nations Cup, a Copa America, a Champions League that doesn't want that flipping cup. Any final, they want it. But Liverpool, will think of 97 points coming second to Man City. They'll remember last season getting into the final. And they will say, look, this is one of the best teams that we've ever had. For me, I believe this is the best Liverpool team since the days of Dalglish in the 70s or 80s or wherever it was. This is one of Liverpool's best ever teams. As in, from front to back, this is one of the best ever teams. So it would be a disaster if Liverpool were not to win the Champions League. It would be, especially what they did against Barcelona, how they came back from Barcelona, knocking Barcelona out after they were 3-0 down in the game. It would be a disaster if they don't complete it, So the only thing that Liverpool are worrying about is how much juju do Tottenham have left? Because that is the thing that would be fearful. It's like, look at how this guy's got here. Is this a case of we're just dealing with spirituality? That is the only thing that I'm fearful, because if it's down to just football X's and O's, Liverpool are going to win. Liverpool can win. But sometimes in football, maybe the spirituality comes into it, And if you're Tottenham, man, bro, like, obviously, like, again, this is not where Tottenham have to get it, and I don't know how you guys are rolling. Do you start Kane? Do you start Kane? Or do you change it up and say Kane, Son, and Moura? Or do you let's do what got us here. Kane, you're a great goal scorer. You go on the bench. We roll quick and we roll fast. Son and Moura. Son and Moura. Look, there's only one destiny. There's no Son's destiny, bro. There's only Zad's destiny. They don't put Son's destiny in there. So that's the thing that Tottenham wants to me. I think Liverpool's team pretty much picks itself. So there's not too much to really think about. Maybe midfield is where you're like, okay, do you start with Melnam? But I assume that they're going to roll with Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Henderson. I assume that's going to be the midfield three that Liverpool roll with, and the defense and the attack, it pretty much picks itself. So look, it's going to be it's weird because as much as I don't like a European final being of the two same teams, that Arsenal Chelsea game was actually really good. That was a really good watch, and I didn't feel like it was a Premier League game. That's the funny thing. I just think the stadium, the events, and everything, it didn't feel like a Premier League game. So it's hard to know how this game is going to go, but for Tottenham, as I said again, it's a huge thing. So Fraz77, thank you, bro. Fraz77 says, put the small donation towards the next meal. Bro, thank you. That's 5.49 is going to be very helpful towards my next meal. And speaking of meal, yeah, man, I'm trying to think. What do I have for my Champions League meal? I'm tempted, even if it's quite tough to make. I'm tempted to go full on with a pandidam and a egusi soup for that Champions League final. Like it's a Champions League final. You have to roll. You have to have a full on meal to just commemorate the whole thing. So pizza is a bit tacky. I'm not sure they want to have pizza for a Champions League final. So I may roll with egusi and gari. Bro, I told you, Son is my dude, man. I told you, I've been the guy preaching about Son. I'm not sleeping on Son. I know Son is that dude, but I think it's a bridge too far for Tottenham. That's just my view. I may be wrong, but I just think it's a bridge too far for Tottenham. So look, put it this way. I'm either going to roll with pandidam and egusi, or I'm going to roll with something I'm not eaten before. I may have to try and find eba. I'll probably have to call up my mom so she can teach me how to make like eba, because I've not had eba for a long time. Ooh, now I'm like jollof and plantain. God, I'm gonna do that, man. A bit of jollof, a bit of plantain, maybe some suya on the side. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh yeah. I don't know if this is true. Apparently, beIN Sports are gonna have Uncle Mo and Wenger. Apparently, now that would be hilarious. Like, wait, but why? Why would they do that when they know how they like? No, like, I've got to have footage of that. That is just flipping hilarious. Let me ask you guys this. I put out a poll. I put out a poll. And again, I'm not just seeing the results of this poll. So let me just ask you guys in the chat. Do you think, or would you want to see more women in this football analysis space? You know, would you want to see more women in this football analysis space? Or do you prefer men talking about football, or are you indifferent? Yeah, a lot of yeses. Yep. Oh yes, man. Hell no. Interesting. No. Anybody that says, but see, now that's the, yeah, man. It just says pretty specific, but the key thing is that when you want to see women doing the analysis, do you want to just view them based on them having to be attractive, or do you want them based on just their analysis and what they bring in analytically? Damn. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Interesting. No, I'm just interested in seeing how you guys are saying, man. Look. Let me not really go into that point there. So again, for me, I wouldn't be doing it because I wouldn't do this for my channel. But if, let's say, I was to have a female co-host on the channel, officially on the Football Hot channel, how do you think we'll? Because I wouldn't. For me, I just think for this channel, I wouldn't want a female co-host personally. You know. But again, it's like, if I say that, people now say, oh my gosh, you're sexist and everything. But I just feel that for what this channel is about, it's about your boy, you know. But that's why I like doing the collaborations with other channels and everything and so forth. Just, you know, keep things fresh and I'll keep things cool. But for me, like, I just think that would be cheesy if I was to have, as most guys have said, no. Ah, interesting, yeah. What up, your boy Nishu, man. My Niger boy, man. Yo, Danny, look, I told you, no, Danny T is my guy, man. Danny T is my guy. Like, just like Danny T is, he's in over in America, so he's in the US. But it's actually quite nice. So, no. Leone is great. So a lot of you guys are obviously fans of Leone, obviously from the Hope Meets Banter show, man. Oh no, she's a great host. She's a really, really great host, man. She's a really good host, man. Great person, man. So from Ashar says, "Do you ever bet on football?" Haha, funny story. Now, 2006 World Cup. So this is obviously 4 years after the 2002 World Cup. And this is after, I saw one of the most personal and the most emotionally satisfying football matches of all time, which is when Ronaldo made his comeback, scoring 2 goals in the final and becoming the top scorer. So look, man, I was pumped up. Yeah, Ronaldo turned up overweight. Yeah, he was looking a bit chubby. But I said, you know what? People bet against him in 2002. They would have bet against him in 2006. So I put a £5 bet that he'd be top scorer. After that, I vowed to never ever again bet on football. So nope, I don't bet. And the thing about it is that I've got a very addictive personality. Interesting. Who was top scorer in 2006? That's a very good point. Closer. I think Closer was. Yeah, Closer, you're right. Yeah, Closer, I remember that. Closer was top scorer then. Because I was just looking at it, I was like, no, it wasn't anyone from Italy, it wasn't anyone from yeah, Closer was. Yeah, 5Gs. No, Closer. So that's why I never ever bet on football. Because I just knew that betting can just I've got a very addictive personality, and I can just reach you into a very, very dark place. But what would be an interesting bet this summer? You know what an interesting bet would be? I think someone even mentioned it, man. Argentina to win the Copa America. That's an interesting bet. The reason why that's a very interesting bet is because they so have no chance. They were so crap at the World Cup that how big are the odds going to be? So, but the very fact that, look, they still have Messi and you never know what could happen. Maybe something miraculous could happen. So, because again, it's like, you're not going to get great odds putting it on Brazil or Colombia or Uruguay. And out of those 3 teams, you're not going to get an Ecuador or Venezuela. Japan, I don't think that's a very smart bet. Even though I think Japan will do good and cool, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that would be a very smart bet. Like, I'm never putting one. I won't put one kobo on Argentina to win the Copa America. Like, those guys, nah, man. Those guys are clowns. So let me just get it straight. What is Neymar's condition right now? Senegal to win. Look, I want Nigeria, of course, to win the AFCON. I mean, Senegal to win the AFCON, I don't think so. I think it's either going to be Egypt or Morocco. Personally, whenever the Nations Cup has been held in North Africa, more times than not, the North African side actually wins it. So good. Neymar is good. Very good, man. Neymar is very good. So Neymar, why is he hanging out with Rihanna? So wait, this Neymar, I told you, he's like a pop star. He's hanging out with Rihanna, he's hanging out with that, what's the name of one of that pop star clown dude from Canada? What's his name? That Canadian pop star loser. Yeah, Bieber. Look, man, he's look, let me be real, people call me crazy. Drake makes some good music, man. Like, I used to hate Drake when I first saw him, but he makes some very good music. So to round this off, guys, are we saying the Golden State Warriors sweep or in 5? What do we say, man? Sweep or in 5? The Warriors and Raptors, man, because 7. Sweep. Interesting. I was going to focus for sweep, but I'm probably going to be saying 5. Oh, 7. Sweep. 6. 7. Nah, it's not going 7, man. No way. It can't go 8, bro. So final super chat here from Ash R. So Ash R says, how likely is Neymar to Barcelona in your opinion? 1 to 10. So 1 being least likely, 10 being the most likely. Six and a half. I was going to say 7, but I say 6.5 because I just think that's Neymar's. The reason why I say 6 is, look, I think that because of his history there's always an opportunity for him there's always that chance of him going back to Barcelona. But I just think that his mentality has changed, his priorities has changed. He's not trying to brand himself. And as a brand, I don't know how much it will help his brand to go to Barcelona and be next to or under Messi. But his brand would still be intact if he remains at PSG or he goes to a Real Madrid where he is a superstar. So he needs to go to a place where he's a superstar. But the reason why I just give it a 6 of a chance, but look, he's been there before, and I still feel like if he still has amicable feelings and ties towards there. Guys, it's been swell, it's been good. Watch out for the pre-match analysis tomorrow, and there will probably be a hangout. Drop it tomorrow as well. Peace out, stay true. Peace.